One of the reasons why we are in the condition that we are in as a people is because we have been robbed and deprived of our history. So if there's any group of people on the planet who knows how important history is, it should be the black man and the black woman of America. And particularly those who are in the Nation of Islam. Because part of our curriculum and our common denominator, along with God and us having a theocentric mentality and perspective on how we view things, it is our history. Yes, so when our people come to Muhammad's mosque, we don't just give them or shove down their throat a Bible and a Holy Quran. Why? Because it is these wicked interpretations of these books by racist scholars who have colonized information that they use these books to further shackle us. So when our people come, we don't just give them religion, as we know religion, but we teach them and give them the history of ourselves. When the Honorable Louis Farrakhan first came into the Nation of Islam, under the tutelage and the guidance of Brother Malcolm X, one of the things that Malcolm gave him before he began to give him Bible and Holy Quran, he gave him books by the great historian J.A. Rogers, 100 Amazing Facts about the so-called Negro, from Superman to Man, Nature Knows No Color Lines. He acclimated Brother the Honorable Louis Farrakhan with history. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad, he teaches us theology, but he teaches us from a different perspective. He teaches us from a God-centered perspective, a theocentric perspective, but he teaches us history. Is that right? He don't just give us the Bible and the Quran. Why? Because if you read the Bible without any base or root in yourself, then when you open up those pages and you see Jew, you're going to think Jew. When you open up that Quran and you see Arab, then you're going to think Arab. And you're going to lose yourself. So many of our black brothers and sisters who are in the wilderness of North America, when they adopt Islam, adopt that historic perspective, or that historic look or view, they take on the culture of the Arab. Is that right? So they still don't have a root in themselves. We escaped from the white man, but now you are just a white Arab. So you are still lost. So the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said history is all about studies. The most attractive and best qualified to reward our research. Is that right? Yes, so it teaches us and it guides our footsteps. It helps us to do better. Is that right? Yes, when we read the Bible and the Quran, we are what? Reading history. Part history, part prophet. So this particular brother that we're going to bring on, we cannot take this brother lightly, for he preserves our history, so that when we look back and our children's children look back, they can know what it is that we did and that everything we did was not in vain. At this particular time, let's bring on our brother, my mentor, a tutor, a brother, a friend, Brother Carlos Muhammad, with a warm round of applause.
Assalamu alaikum. In the most holy name of Allah, the all-wise, the true and the living God, the one God to whom all the praises are due forever, the Lord of all the worlds. And we can never thank that great God enough for coming, as it was prophesied that he would come, seeking to save that which was lost. And so we thank Allah for his intervention in our affairs in the person of Master Farah Muhammad, and we thank him over and over again for that one who we knew in the first stage of his development as messenger, but we must get to know him as he is today. We speak of none other than our exalted Christ, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. And of course, we would not even be here to discuss the divinity of these great ones that have walked among us if it was not for the one that they prepared for us today. And our brother, our friend, our divine leader and teacher today, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, and greet the mighty FOI with the greeting words of peace as we say in the Arabic language, Assalamu alaikum. How's the fruit? How's the fruit? All praise is due to Allah. Let's give Brother Jackson another round of applause. And all of those who have spoken for the captain of the Jews. First and foremost, I want to thank Brother Khalid for his invitation to come and be a part of this day, which of course is history in the making. And to be in this great city of New Brunswick, New Jersey, of course, I'm always thankful for the great work and the legacy of our beloved Minister James. May Allah be pleased with him. And all of the laborers, Brother Captain Joseph and Brother Lenny is here now to continue on in that work. But just to be among the believers is a blessing. Is that right or wrong? Yes, sir. So I'm thankful to Allah, and I want to get right down to the business because I heard we are cramped for time. And if you don't know, outside of serving as the student minister in Baltimore, I serve as the National Archivist with the permission of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan for our nation. And the minister made it very clear that if we don't know where we came from, we certainly don't know where we're going.
That's right.
And there are many Muslims, as he said to me, that have either grown up or are growing up in a nation that they hardly know anything about. And so it is our job from NOI Archives to make sure that our nation first is educated on its own self. And then take it to the whole entire world. In fact, people in the world talk about us, and they always tell our story, don't they? Or attempt to, don't they? And all of you young brothers, you know you on the computer more than anybody else. You're always seeing something that makes you mad.
Yes, sir. Say that.
And you want to say something. But what can you say? You can't say anything because you may not know. So in order to battle what they say about us from a historical perspective that is incorrect, you got to be armed with the history so you can correct it.
That's right.
Is that right or wrong?
Yes, sir.
So, brothers, it's important that we tell our own story.
Yes, sir.
And stop letting people tell our story for us. A few points. Do you know that we are only 17 years away from a centennial? Somebody tell me what a centennial is. What is it? 100 years. 100 years. So the nation didn't just get started, did it?
Yes, sir.
So we're almost 100 years old inside the fabric of America.
Yes, sir.
Which is proof that we're here to stay.
Yes, sir.
The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said, we're not going anywhere.
That's right.
We are just as much a part of the fabric of America than apple pie.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
So just 17 years away, and we'll be celebrating a centennial. Now, Captain Majid came up because he's fired up, and we should be fired up after Tuesday night because the minister said he needs some soldiers.
Yes, sir.
Is that right or wrong?
Yes, sir.
Not weak soldiers, but strong soldiers.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
So the FOI have to be trained up fast.
That's right.
And Master Farad Muhammad said, make us brave fighters. Right?
Yes, sir.
Willing and ready to give our life for the cause of Islam.
Yes, sir.
We can't be punks
That's right.
and be talking about giving our life. But we can't give our life emotionally. We have to give our life to the cause of Islam because we know the cause of Islam is bigger than ourselves.
Go ahead, sir.
Islam is bigger than any individual man in this room.
Yes, sir.
Without the brother sitting next to you, we cannot get it done.
Go ahead.
And that's how you have to think, and that's how you have to walk as an FOI.
Yes, sir.
So just to think that our first fight, physical, fist fight,
Come on.
was over what? Bean pies?
No, sir.
Newspaper?
No, sir.
Somebody looking at us and didn't like our name? No. Our first fight was over the education of our children.
Go ahead. Yes, sir. Come on.
What should that mean to you?
Wow.
That if we were willing to fight, die, and kill in the 30s for the education of our babies, then that meant Master Farad Muhammad and his servant saw us.
Come on.
And the purpose was to eventually produce a new nation of people by first starting planting the seed of a new idea in a new nation in the minds of our babies.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
So I'm gonna get the mic. I'm gonna walk away because I need to explain it a little bit.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
Now, Now, you might think this is school, but
Yes, sir.
let's be clear. Because there's a whole lot of people out here talking about they're the archivists and they're the coalition for the remembrance of Elijah. But the problem is, you know, we're talking about Elijah, but you got a problem with Farrakhan. And if you got a problem with the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, then we got a problem with you in respect to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Now, I'm clear that the man talking about coalition for the remembrance of Elijah is a lately comer to the nation. So you can study history like I do. My brother Rashid is here from Boston. We can study the history, but don't act like you was there talking to a man that was there, that lived it, that walked it, and is still among us and disrespect him. So we got to tell our own story. Is that right or wrong? Go back to that first one. Go back to the first one with all three. This is the divine Trinity. There is no nation of Islam without this divine Trinity right here. Okay? So when we talk about Nation of Islam archives, we are not dismissing the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. We make no apologies for that. Go to the next one. This is a picture of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad in 1933. And as you can see, he is very focused and he's very much alive in this picture. He's also clean and sharp in that picture.
Yes, sir.
But I wanted to show you an early picture. Next one. Some of you may have seen this on the internet, but these are the FOI.
Go ahead, brother.
In 1934,
Yes, sir.
refusing to put their hands up on a Bible, they didn't do what?
That's right.
Because they're giving praise to the one God, Allah, but they're being charged because they was fighting over the education of our babies.
Yes,
Go ahead,
sir.
brother.
Let's go forward. How come we so afraid to fight for Islam?
Come on.
Ask that question.
The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said to us, dear brothers, that he could not promise us that some of us wouldn't go to jail
That's right.
or catch a hickey on our head.
Hit you on the head.
Or some of us may even have to die. But the thing that he could promise us was victory.
That's right.
So he's proven that he's willing to go through it all
That's right.
just by what's around his neck. So none of us should ever be afraid to go to jail for the cause of Islam.
Go ahead,
Right.
brother.
Let me say, because it may come, and it's going to come.
That's right.
And do you know when Honorable Elijah Muhammad went to jail? Many of his followers went and did something to get in jail so they could be with him.
Go ahead.
That's a soldier.
Yes, sir.
Let's go to the next one. This picture is from 1957 at a banquet in Chicago. The reason why I chose this slide is because we have a very dignified Honorable Elijah Muhammad and his lovely wife, Mother Clara, and his daughter, Sister Ethel. And coming down the line is his brother John, Minister George, who was in Philadelphia at that time, and Brother Rashid, he became the minister in Boston. We know him now as Kamal Majid. But who's this young fellow right there? That's Captain Lewis.
Oh, yes, sir.
Captain Lewis.
Go ahead now.
Captain.
Yes, sir.
Captain. So before he was minister, he was
Captain.
captain. Now I wonder he could talk to us like he talked to us the other night, because he's a soldier. Is that right?
That's right.
He's the commanding general right now. Is that right? Let's go to the next one. Now some of you may have seen this. This is the first time the minister spoke. He was a captain at the time. And remember him saying when he got up as a captain to speak,
Yes, sir.
you know, the place went up and Honorable Elijah Muhammad was so happy because of his spirit.
Yes, sir.
He's always had the spirit to raise the dead because that's the way Allah made him.
Yes,
And
sir.
shouldn't we be proud that we have him among us, leading us?
Yes, sir.
Let's go to the next one. I'm going to roll through quickly. Courtesy of Brother Rashid. Stand up, Brother Rashid. This is one of our all praises be to Allah. This is a picture of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad right before he's getting ready to depart to go to Mecca and to Turkey and Pakistan and parts of Africa in 1959, and he came back in the early part, January 4th to be exact, in 1960, and that's just to let those other people know too. Our man did what he did, and he understood it to the fullest. So don't tell us that we're not real Muslims. All right, let's go to the next slide. This is the FOI in 1960 in Chicago. And down here you have Supreme Captain Sharif, Secretary John Ali, and where's the New York brothers at? Came out at number 7.
Come on now.
If you don't know your history, he came out at number 7 to become the National Secretary. That's the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's son Akbar, and this is Minister James Shabazz, who was the minister there of Mosque number 2 at the time. Fearless soldiers of Allah. Go to the next one. Fruit training. Somebody tell me where this is. Anybody know where that is? That's in temple number 7. Fruit of Islam doing what? Training. To be brave fighters, right? So we didn't just get started in that. We've been doing this since day 1. Go to the next one. This is the Honorable Elijah Muhammad in Cobo Hall, 1965. And where we going for Savior's Day?
Cobo Hall, sir.
Back home to Detroit, Cobo Hall, right?
Yes, sir.
This was the first time the FOI uniform appeared.
Wow.
And this was the summer uniform, and then we received the traditional blue afterwards, and beautiful Fruit of Islam. Serious brothers, aren't they?
Yes, sir.
See, I'm showing you these pictures because I want you to see how we should be.
Yes, sir.
Militant.
That's right.
Is that right?
Yes, sir.
And making it very clear, if you come after that holy man and the one that's with us today, you're going to have a problem on your hands.
Yes, sir.
They should never be able to get to the minister. They got to get through us first.
Yes, sir.
Right? Go to the next slide. Just another shot of fruit. In those days, we didn't sit in the chairs. That came a little later. They call that called front post. You just stand. And anybody know why their arms are folded? Because that's really a fighting stance.
Yes, sir.
Okay? A man is at peace when his hands is to the side.
Right,
He raised them up, he's prepared, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's go to the next one. This is in Atlanta in 1961, and they're getting ready to go secure Magnolia Hall. And you see the FOI, of course, taking instructions and saying things we do today. But FOI ready to go to work. Go to the next slide. Look at this picture. This is called, this has, I don't know, what did I tweet? This has respect and protect the black woman all over it.
Yes, sir.
Are y'all paying attention to this?
Yes, sir.
See the sisters?
Yes, sir.
Lined up, baby.
Yes, sir.
But look at how the brothers are dressed down the side so nobody can get to our women.
Okay. Yes, sir.
We were taking charge of our posts and all temple property in view. Go to the next slide. Look at the fruit. Look at the crowd out to go hear who?
Yes, sir.
Packed to hear our leader and teacher. This is why the spirit of many of these little young brothers that I watch grow up, it is a blessing to see you every city we travel in. Because wherever the minister is, we got to strive to be there.
That's right. That's right.
Is that right or wrong?
That's right.
And I see some of y'all like we were when we were young soldiers.
Yes, sir. Come on.
We still young soldiers.
That's right.
Traveling and driving, and we jump in the car and drive to the next city, get the minister off the plane. But Captain Majid is right. It's your time.
Go ahead.
It's your time. Let's go to the next one. See Muhammad Ali
Yes, sir.
right here. That's Minister Isaiah Kareem behind him with the glasses on. Savior's Day. But look how happy they are to be a Muslim. That's why the minister said we walking around dead.
Yes, sir.
Got to get fired up again. Go to the next one.
Go ahead.
Look at the fearlessness in the face of the fruit.
Go ahead.
Come on.
And though you can see the faces of these brothers, look at the ranks.
Go ahead. Yes, sir.
That's the army. And that's the army the minister needs again. Go ahead. This is across the street from the palace, 4847 South Woodlawn. Muslims on parade, FOI on parade. Go to the next one. Fruit sitting front rostrum now. We sat down now. But brothers are fearless, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Go to the next one. These are the brothers saluting as the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was getting ready to drive into the Coliseum in his car to get out and go teach. So you can see we was going to lock it down regardless. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead. This is at our first annual parade in 1969. And you see the brothers on the FOI float sitting disciplined and looking strong. Go to the next one. Brothers of number 7.
Ooh, come on. Go ahead.
There's the great Captain Yusef Shah. All praise to you for Allah. And today I hope I brought enough of these, because I want every last one of you brothers to get that. And I'm going to give it to you.
Go ahead.
And I want you to find a place that you can see it every day. Walk past it and look at it. And use it as a mirror of the men that we hope to become. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
All praises due to it. That's my gift to you today. See the Honorable Elijah Muhammad right there? See the FOI around him?
Yes, sir.
That's how we got to protect our
Yes, sir.
and each other.
Yes, sir.
And each other. Go to the next one. I know you were saying, what about the minister?
Go ahead.
That's a beautiful 31-year-old Minister Farrakhan. All praise to Allah. Very focused, very dedicated. Let's go to the next one. Oh yeah, the Minister Soldier too.
Yes, sir.
There he is with his bundle of Muhammad Speaks newspapers. Huh? And the ministers and Captain Yusef Shah and Secretary Maceo standing next to Captain Shah. Let's go to the next slide. Okay.
Go ahead.
The reason why I chose this is the minister is pointing at me and you. To get up and make a faster pace.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Get up and make a faster pace.
Yes, sir.
Because who he's talking to, go to the next slide. The FOI
Yes, sir.
of New York City and Queens. Over 400 FOI in this gym auditorium. And what are they getting ready to go do? Sell fish.
Fish program. Yes, sir.
Fish program. Not 5 men,
400.
400.
Yes, sir.
Just to go do what?
Seven.
Sell fish.
That's right.
Muhammad's program. Go ahead. That's the front of number 7 back in 73. On a Saturday, the brothers getting ready to, go out in the street
Go ahead.
and do what they supposed to do, right?
Yes, sir.
Where number 7 at in here? You know your history?
Yes, sir.
Well, 25 wasn't no joke either now. I got your history too. One day I'll come up and show it to you, inshallah. Go to the next one. A pack number 7 on Sunday. Wall to wall.
That's a Sunday.
That's a Sunday.
Yes, sir.
Go to the next slide. Same Sunday in the basement. That's how packed it was. Therefore, I had to go in the basement and watch on the monitor. That's why the minister said we got to become soldiers again.
Right.
Go to the next slide. That's Minister Farrakhan coming out of Friendship Baptist Church in 1973 with the FOI. Captain Shaw, Brother Ronald, who was the captain before Captain Shaw, and Brother Alvin, and Brother Lewis 17 next to Pre, who, took care of business when the police attacked us. James Jr., Lieutenant, Brother Tiamo right there, Lieutenant, and the great Captain Salim, may Allah be pleased with him. That's Abidat, right there in the corner, on his podium. And let me show you how it works. Go to the next slide. That's the inside of Friendship Baptist Church.
Yes, sir.
Because in 1973, he took up 6 Wednesdays teaching on male-female relationships, and they packed that church every Wednesday for 6 weeks.
Wow.
Just so he could teach on male-female relationships. He was working. Captain Majid is right. Any of you aspire to be ministers in the ministry class? We got work to do.
Yes, sir.
And a side note, that's Brother Rashid from Boston back in 73. Don't that look like Rashid?